Hello everyone! In this video I will show you two different knitting techniques. The first is how to join a new ball of yarn to your any project, and the second is how to bind off a project. So I have my scarf here, and the first thing I'll show you is how to add a new ball of yarn. So if you want to add a new color or you just ran out of your first, it's super easy to start a new ball. There's no knot tying involved. All you do is you start your next row, and then you start knitting with your new color. So I'm going to add this white. So I'm going to put my needle into my first stitch, grab my new yarn. I'm going to leave like a long tail, 6, 7, 8 inches. I'm going to loop that over the top, and then bring it through. So, and then you just start knitting with it. Now, a lot of people ask, well, is this secure? Is this going to stay? Yes, it will. You just need to weave in your ends later with a crochet hook, which I will show. So, and now you have, let's see if you pull this, it's a little loose, but it's okay. You have your string connected to the ball, and you have these two ends that you can weave in later. So that's how you join a new color. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to show you how to bind off. This is a simple bind off that we'll use for this scarf. Okay. All right, so once you're ready to bind off your pattern, you have a long tail left over. So this should be enough. It should be, enough to bind off your yarn, your project. If you don't want to be too risky about it, so give yourself enough room. Hopefully this is enough. We'll see. It might not be. Okay. So binding off is how you end your project. So what you do is you're going to start by knitting the first 2 stitches. Now from here, you're going to take your left needle and pick up this first stitch and bring it over the second stitch and off the needle. Now we're back to 1. We're going to knit 1 more and do the same thing. Get your left needle, pick up that first stitch, bring it over the second and off. So you're always either going to have 1 or 2 stitches on your right needle, no more. It's that same process. And you can see it's starting to decrease 1 by 1. You're binding off. You're reducing your stitch counts down to 0. Now, some tricks. What I like to do is hold my yarn kind of like this. So I kind of clamp it in my hands and bring it around my finger. So that, and if you hold a lot of tension, it makes it easier to pull this first stitch off. So just practice that. It'll take a little bit of time. Get used to it. I'll do the whole thing and I'll show you what to do next. You can also do this on the purl side as well. It's the same thing. So sometimes a pattern will say bind off in ribbing. So if you end a pattern with some ribbing, then you can do, knit, bind off. You can move your yarn to the front and you can go purl, bind off. Same thing. I'll probably undo that just so it's even. Honestly, I don't really like a ribbing bind off. If I have ribbing at the end of my project, I'll typically just do a knit bind off. I think it looks better, but I think it just depends what you like. And just like the cast on with the project, a bind off you only do once. So it's easy to forget, but I think binding off is easier to do than casting on, easier to remember. Oh, I'm getting close to the end of the yarn, but I think I have enough. Just enough. If you find that you're running short and you don't have enough yarn left, you might have to just go back, take out a row. Oop, I almost did 3 stitches. All right, we're coming up on the end here. So you're going to do the same thing with the last stitch. Bring it over the top. Great, now you have one loop left. What do you do with that? Well, you make it a little bit bigger, and then you get this yarn, this string here. You're gonna put it through. You're gonna just thread that yarn through, pull it tight. Now it's secure. So yeah, no knots tying at all. It's a little tight, but it's all right. There's still some give. So from here, what you can do is weave in your ends. These ends here, don't cut it. You want to use either a crochet hook or a darning needle to weave it in. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. I just kind of like to try to follow how the stitches go. So stitches are kind of in the shape of a horseshoe. So it's kind of hard to show in this video, but I'm gonna do my best. Let's see. What I like to do is kind of pick a row to kind of follow. So I'm gonna pull my yarn into this hole here. And then I'm gonna bring it around. This probably just doesn't look like anything, but some people prefer to use a darning needle. See, I'm just tracing this stitch that's shaped like a horseshoe. And then I'll do this all the way around. So you see, I want to kind of go up around over there. So I'm going to put my needle into there, or my hook. Draw it through. You'll just keep doing that for a couple inches. Don't have to do the whole thing, but it's better to do more than less. And that's it. Got my beautiful scarf here, and you have your project. You can block it and wear it and enjoy. Thanks for watching.